Because some ladies ask, why ladies cannot become Buddhas? Then I tell them, why not you try and see? There is nothing to challenge, nothing to criticize. Then you can prove that ladies also can. Who said that ladies cannot? Your question, we can elaborate. When you read the 45 years teachings of the Buddha and various incidents and the discourses that the Buddha has given, we can find out there were altogether 12 laymen who have attained arahanthood and nirvana without becoming monks. So can you satisfy now? And one of them was the Buddha's father, King Suddhodana. He did not become a monk. When the Buddha visited home after 7 years, the father could not satisfy with his son's way of life, that means the Buddha, because he started visiting house to house, begging his food, pindapata. So the father, the king, approached him and appealed, please don't disgrace my royal family. No one has begged food in our royal family. Then the Buddha said, you must understand, I am not belong to your royal family. I am belong to the Buddha's family. And this is the traditions of the Buddhas. So I am following the Buddha, but not the kings or the rulers. Then they had a dialogue. After listening to the first dialogue or the discussion, the father attained the first stage of sainthood, Sotapanna. And later, he developed one after the other. And before his death, so when he was about to die, the Buddha visited his dying father, and it says that he dies when the Buddha was holding him and attained arahanthood before his death. And this is another important information for those who create misunderstanding about the renunciation. Some people believe when once we renounce our families, we have no connection whatsoever with our parents and brothers and sisters and relatives. It is wrong. One of the disciples who wanted to disrobe, to go home, so when you came to know that his father and mothers are suffering, because there was nobody to support them, then the Buddha said, it is not necessary for you to disrobe to look after your father and mother. As a monk, you can perform your duties. You can provide food, clothing, you can bathe, you can minister them, attend to them. So that belief after renunciation that there is no family connection is wrong. Here again the Buddha visited his father and consoled him, gave him confidence, and he attained the Arahanthood. And there was another man who has studied and practiced religion for a long time, but he could not gain the complete purity in his mind. He had a little bit of doubt, disturbances in his mind. His name was Bahya Daruchirya. He was not a Buddhist, but when he heard that there is a religious teacher in a particular monastery, he visited this place. So when he visited the temple, the Buddha was not there. Then he came to know that he has gone out for his Pindapata, alms round. So he followed in searching where the Buddha is. So he met him. Then he requested the Buddha to preach the Dhamma on the road. Then the Buddha said, this is not the time for me to preach you. Then he said, do you know, the life is very uncertain. This man says, your life also uncertain, and my life also uncertain. Whenever there is any opportunity, we must make use of that. Then the Buddha knew that there is something in this man's mind. So when he used his psychic power, he found out this man cannot live. This is the final day for him. But he does not know, that man does not know it. The karma that is called generative karma, productive karma. We have different kinds of karmas. The duty of one particular karma is to produce. After that, that karma is not responsible either to disturb us or to support us. That is why we must have different kind of karmas. Supportive karmas, to support for our living, for our good health, for many other things, to find out our requisite without struggling for them. So good karmas support us to gain many things what we need. And certain other bad karmas always interrupt, disturb, and try to topple. And we experience very unpleasant feeling because of certain bad karma. And certain other karmas completely destroy everything. Our property, our families, our life and everything. Destructive karmas. So this person, although he is a religious man, his generative or the productive karma is going to extinguish. Therefore, he cannot survive anymore. It is like this. When we light an oil lamp, there are two things, the wick and the oil. After burning for many hours, you can see no more oil there. But the wicks still remain. After that, the whole thing burned, turned into ashes. In certain cases, the oil remains, but the wind or some other disturbances blow up the light. But the oil remains. Our physical body is just like wicks. And the mental current or mental energy or life process, just like the light, the brightness. The oil is just like the karma that we have accumulated. So when there's no more oil, the wicks cannot produce any more lights. This is the nature of karma. So when the Buddha came to know that this man cannot live anymore, today is the last day according to his own karma, then you can ask this question. Because this is our way of thinking. If the Buddha is a very powerful, enlightened, holy and most powerful religious teacher in this world, why can't he bless this man to live long life? Now, this is our way of thinking. We cannot understand that the Buddha cannot change the karma, our own karma. God cannot change our karma. And that is why Buddhism always says, you are responsible for your life. Another person is not responsible. So the Buddha cannot stop it. Because karmic energy is a natural cosmic law. There is nobody in this world who can stop or who can change this. If the Buddha can do that, he goes against the natural law. Then he knew this man will be benefited. Then he asked, what is your problem? He said, I know everything. I know the Dhamma. What I want to know is only this much. Still I cannot understand how to maintain peace in my mind when there are some external disturbances. I want to know only this much. Then the Buddha started. He said, Ditte dittamattang, sute sutamattang, evaṃ te bāhya sikkhitabba. Bāhya. It is not very difficult if you know the technique. Whenever there is any object, visible object, that object can become a very attractive, very create temptation in our mind, if not irritate or disturb our mind, that appearance or that object. But you cannot stop it. And there is no meaning of closing your eyes, not to see it. You can close the eyeball, but eye consciousness you cannot close. Eye consciousness still working. The mental disturbance also remains. So what you have to do, look at mindfully. After watching, stop that object if it is unfavorable to maintain peace in your mind. That means don't bring that object into your mind. Look at and keep it there. Don't bring it here. When you hear certain sound, very pleasant, very soothing but tempting, and certain sound create lot of disturbances to our mind, then listen mindfully. After listening, stop it. Don't bring this sound vibration into your mind. All the five senses, the smell, the taste, and the feeling, these five senses. This is the way how to use the five senses mindfully. In other words, not to become slaves, not to surrender our senses to the objects. This is called real meditation. I think you can remember this story I have told you. A monk who was meditating in a jungle. A young housewife who had a fight with her husband ran away. So when she was going through this jungle, she met this young monk. That monk also a young one. Having seen the monks there, she stopped and started to show her smiling face, and she wanted to talk to this monk. But this monk was meditating on 32 parts of the physical body, such as skin and hair and blood and flesh and bones and this and that, one after the other, not within one day, for a few days, one object, then take another object. That particular day, he was meditating on bones of the body. So when this young lady started to show her smiling face, the monk saw her teeth. After that, directly he focused his mind toward the teeth, then started to meditate. This lady knew that this monk is either mad or something is wrong with him, so she went away. After some time, the husband also came in searching his wife, then met this monk. Then he came and asked, "Did you see any lady just by this way?" Then the monk said, Actually, I do not know whether man or woman, but I saw only a set of teeth. This is the way how we can use our senses mindfully without becoming slaves to the objects. So when the Buddha gave this advice, on the spot, this man, Bahir, attained Arahanta. Because he had completed everything. Only this little bit of disturbances was there in the mind. He became an Arahant. Then they went out. The Buddha and the other monks went out. Still got time. When they returned after their arms round, they saw a dead body on the roadside. That man's dead body. He was attacked by a cow and died. Then the Buddha said, carry this dead body. This is not an ordinary man. This is a dead body of a holy man. He is an Arahant. And he asked the monks to carry this dead body and give him due respect to perform the funeral rites. This is another person who has attained Arahanthood without becoming a monk. So there are altogether 12. Now the problem is this. Sambadhoyang gharavaso. Household life or layman's life create lot of disturbances, responsibilities, worries. And these things disturb the mind, then create more craving, more jealousy and anger, then experience the difficulty of maintaining peace in their mind. Rajasa ayatana, household life, layman's life, is become the fountainhead and cause all sort of dirts come out from the household life. Take few examples. When a man wants to do some business, what sort of cunning method, what sort of selfishness, and how he bluff people. These are the dirts we develop because of our business. Whenever we want to experience pleasure, we never consider that the method must be very reasonable or decent method. Any kind of wicked, any cruel, selfish ideas we create in our mind to gain this pleasure. And this is the danger of household life. Again, the family life, husband and wife and children, their responsibilities, obligations, duties always disturb the mind, almost every day, either grumbling or criticizing or accusing or crying or fighting or arguing or worrying for something. Because of husband or wife or children or property or business or enemies or next door neighbors, there must be something. If not thieves, where is the peace? So, sambadhoyam gharavaso rajasa ayatana, create lot of dirt, dirty our mind. Abhokaso pabbajja. Pabbajja means renunciation, becoming monk. If monks really renounce, many of those monks have not renounced actually. Only for the name's sake they remain as monks, but no renunciation in their mind. They renounce only a little bit of hair and renounce their old clothing and use new one. Only these two renunciations you can see. But in the mind you can see jealousy, grudge and enmity and all sort of dirty things, sometimes worse than ordinary layman. I have to tell you very frankly. So there is no real renunciation there. All the while thinking about planning all sort of things, how to make more money, how to be rich and how to do this. No peace in their mind. Where is renunciation? There may be some laymen who have renounced so many other things. Then, abhokaso pabbajja, the real renunciation. When once we renounce all these things, our life is just like birds' life. Birds can fly in the air without any disturbance, either this way or this way or this way, no road for them. Full freedom is there. When they fly, they travel far distance, migrate from country to country. Do they carry anything with them? Toothbrush, toothpaste, tablets, vitamin tablets, suitcase, and what other things they carry? Nothing, only two wings to fly. After this real renunciation, monks or laymen also can renounce without changing their clothing or without shaving their head. That means reduce craving, attachment, responsibilities. That is renunciation. After reaching some other areas or another village or another country, and again they will find out there are food and shelter, those birds. So the monk's way of life also exactly like this. Wherever they go, they can find out their food. Even non-Buddhists also, if a monk approach, non-Buddhists also, Christian, Hindus, Muslim also give, knowing they are holy people, they are harmless people. I have traveled many parts of the world, communist countries, Christian, Muslim countries. Nobody disturbed me. Nobody accused me. And they have given their full support, knowing that I am a religious man. So, there is no reason for monks to worry about all these things, if real renunciation is there. We can gain that confidence wherever we go. There is no difficulty for us to gain our food, our shelter, and clothing also. What else? Medicines also we get. Now you can understand the difficulties. Why it is very difficult for lay people or householders to attain arahantahood and experience nibbanic bliss because of all these responsibilities. But Buddhism never says that your responsibilities, your family life, your household life, your married life, all these things are bad. Buddhism never says. They are not sinful, they are not bad, they are not immoral. But the problem is difficulty of maintaining peace. That is why there are only very few arahantas amongst lay people. Then after this renunciation, they feel complete freedom, no obligation. We can fulfill our duties according to our convenience also. And nothing to worry about income. Nothing to worry about expenditure. And there is nothing to save for the future also, if real renunciation is there. Then you might have heard more than 100 times these sayings of the Buddha. What is that? When a king approached the Buddha and asked this question, I have seen so many other religious people who belong to different other religious denominations, and I have seen your disciples, the monks. So when I compare their faces, their complexion, their appearance, I can see vast difference. What is this? Your disciples maintain cheerfulness. Always they are very happy, very serene. Complexion also very nice. But when I look at some other religious people, no pleasing appearance, no soothing appearance in them. What is the cause of this? Well, I heard your disciples also sometimes take only one meal a day. And they have no proper shelter also in those days, no proper temple at that time. They sleep under a tree or caves or jungles or villages here and there, no proper building. And clothing also just only a piece of cloth, no proper dress. But even then, I can see your monks, your disciples are very cheerful, very serene, and they maintain very good complexion. Then the Buddha gave this answer. Can you remember? What did he say? The Buddha. How did he explain? How many? I think nearly 100 times I have told you this. Never mind, let us renew. He says, Atitang nanuso chanti. My disciples never worry by thinking about their past. They know what they have done. Because they have about their property and family and this and that, what they have done, what happened to their business, they don't worry. Completely given up. So they have no worry about their past. Nappajappa panti nagata. My disciples never worry about their future. They never think about their future. What is future? If we do our day-to-day work without neglecting, the so-called future will be there. But today, by neglecting our work, our duties, we simply worry about the future. That is the wrong attitude. So my disciples never worry about their future. What will happen to them when they grow old? Who is going to look after them? Where are they going to stay? Such ideas never appear in their mind. So now they are free from this worry and that one. Pachupannena yapenti. They have full satisfaction, contentment. Contentment means whatever they receive, they accept without complaining for anything. Say, this is not enough, this is not nice, or this is very old, and this is not beautiful, no such thing. Whatever people offer, they accept, they satisfy with it. That is called contentment in their life. These are the three secrets for them to maintain peace, serenity in their mind. But as lay people, you cannot do this. Always there are so many things bother to disturb your mind. Because of these mental disturbances, you experience the difficulty of maintaining peace and happiness and satisfaction in your life. Yes, Mr. Boone, did you get the answer? So when are you going to renounce? I think enough, nearly 45 minutes. Okay, sir.